everyone, and welcome to another edition of Mrs. Cford Vlogs. I'm Stephanie Crawford, and I'm so happy to have you with me. It's been a little while since I've posted new material, and I appreciate your patience. If you are someone who has come back and watched my content for the last few years, I appreciate it. If you are brand new, thank you for joining me. All right, so a lot of my vlogs, although not all of them, focus on games and how they can be used in the classroom. And I think now in this crazy time is just as important. So I want to look at a game that can be used if you're in person or if you're hybrid or if you're all remote. So we're going to look at a digital adaptation for the game. This game is called Starlink, as you can see there. Notice that it's constellation based. In the actual game itself, you have a board that is circular and it has stars represented on it. On this board, you have a white marker, and if you are the person who's up first, you draw a card, and let's say it's this card. It has two choices on it. You choose which one you want to do. Notice it's a 3-star, which means it's the highest difficulty. There are also 2 stars and 1-star cards, okay? So you would choose which one you wanted to do. And then you take the white marker and you have to connect the stars with straight lines. So you can't do curved lines. You can't interpret it that way with your drawing. It's got to be connecting these as if it's a constellation, hence the name Starlink, okay? So it's a really fun game because it combines with a time element. You get a 2-minute timer. If you're drawing, people can guess while you're drawing, and your constellations stay on the board once they've been created, so you don't erase them. So you're looking for the open space. So if someone does a really large constellation, it's going to mean that you don't have as much room and you might have to go a lot smaller on your constellation. So it's a great game on its own. But let's talk about how you can make it digital to really do a couple different things. This can be another relationship building game. If you have hosted a game club, but you can't be in person right now for that, and maybe you've taken it digital or you haven't thought of that, you could take it digital. This would be a great game to play with your game club as well. This can be for the SEL component relationship building, like I said, but it can also be for your content. So you could have these word cards that you actually make for your content, like we do with a lot of the other games, right, to reinforce concepts, but especially because it can work with that visual literacy. So they're gonna have to think about the word in context with a picture that it creates in their head and be able to express that. So it's having a couple different things working together at once. So it's a great game to bring into your classroom. So how do we do that digitally? All right, well, it's really not as hard as you might think. So when I created Starlink digitally, what I did was I went into a Google slide and I made the background a gradient blue. And then I took the circle tool and I added white circles. And I just put them wherever, and that created my star background. I went ahead and I downloaded that as a PNG so that I could, in turn, upload it as a new background on the slide so that the stars couldn't be moved and the box couldn't be moved. Okay, this was a great thing. I was excited about this because everybody could work off of that slide using the line tool and connect the stars that way. Okay, that did work, but here's the downfall. The default color, and as far as I know, I kind of looked into it, played around with it, and didn't see a way to change it, but the default color for the line tool is a gray color. And so you would have to either have the lines, take the time to go and change the color of the lines, or you would need to change the color of the background so that the lines don't end up blending in with that gradient blue background. Or you can do what I did and take that PNG that you downloaded and upload it into a Jamboard, because everybody can work on the Jamboard also. You're gonna adjust the size of that picture to a larger space that's gonna take up your whole Jamboard. And then when your students come in, now the stars are still fixed on that background, so they're not gonna be able to be moved. We're gonna choose the marker tool and the white color that comes with it and be able to draw. And actually part of the fun in that is not using the line tool. Because it's not supposed to be precise. When you're drawing on this, you can imagine that you're trying to get as straight as possible, right? Those lines, but it doesn't always happen. And that can be part of that engaging mechanic of the game. So when you're in Jamboard and you're trying to connect the lines to a constellation, that's part of the fun. So if I had mustache, okay, in my Jamboard, and I'm the one drawing, I'm going to be, if I'm digital, sharing my screen. Okay, I'm presenting it. So whether I'm in Zoom or Meets or Teams, I'm going to be sharing that screen. They're all going to have access to that Jamboard if they're going to be drawing on it as well. Okay, and then while you're drawing, you're going to have that timer set for 2 minutes, be drawing, and then people will be guessing as you're drawing. So really quick setup, doesn't cost you anything, and a really quick and easy way to engage with your students and with the content. If you try it and you want to leave some feedback on how it went, I'd love to hear that. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a great day, a great week, and I'll see you next time on Mrs. Cford Vlogs.